We're ready.
Hi, this is George Price, and this morning I'm at Gathering Grounds Coffee in Pendleton, Indiana, and I'm with Angela Barbosa, is that correct?
It is.
And Michele
Hockwalt.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you, George.
You two started something new in here. It's called Two Gals Green. Is that correct?
It is correct.
What is Two Gals Green?
Do you want to start? Right here. Oh yeah, you got it. We are Two
What's
Gals
it about?
Green. Yeah. Two Gals Green. Michele and I met each other a couple of years ago. Professionally, our companies were next to each other. Became friends and realized very quickly that we had a common interest in healthier living, greener lifestyle. Just doing what we can to help our families, ourselves, and the planet be healthier. And we take little bit different approaches to it, but we've both done a lot of research, we've tried a lot of things in our own lives, and we just decided we would find a simple way to share some of what we've learned.
That's become a real important topic in our society because of all the waste we develop as families and as businesses daily. It's amazes me how much of that I create each day, and just wondering how some way to reduce this, but with some of the packaging we have and some of this way you get things, sometimes that's a little difficult. What are some things that perhaps on a daily basis that we as consumers overlook as far as trying to reduce some of this waste that we're developing?
Well, I think that we need to think twice when we go shopping. And before we make that choice, do we really need it? When we're out grocery shopping as well, I think it's important to look at the packaging that our food comes in. I'll use, for instance, eggs as an example. If you're going to buy eggs, everybody uses them. Well, most people use them. They're never by styrofoam because it'll say recyclable on the container, but 9 times out of 10, it's not going to get recycled. But there are a lot of options now to purchase eggs in cardboard, and that can be recycled. That's one thing that you can do. You can look at how you use products as well. There are times, maybe it's a little more economical, and overall you use less packaging by buying a supersize. However, if you're a single parent, you've got one child, like Angela here, you're better off buying a small container because you're just going to end up throwing away this things that you don't use.
I mean, honestly, in my own life, that's probably still my biggest challenge because just for the economy of it and the fact that I don't have a lot of time to grocery shop, buying in small quantities is always better on fresh things that can go bad because you don't want to throw away food waste.
Right.
But at the same time, when you don't have a lot of time to shop, or you're trying to be economical, or you have a coupon, or there's a discount, it's easy to want to buy bigger things. And then it just becomes, think about the choices you're making, and that's really what it boils down to more than anything. So if I buy a huge container of yogurt, I know there's a good chance I'm not going to get through it all. I throw some of it in another container and put it in the freezer. And the same thing with vegetables. It's really, if you boil it all down, it's about being more conscious. That's a big part of the problem is in our consumer culture, and meaning consumer in every sense of that word, whether it's food or stuff or ideas or information. We consume without putting a lot of thought into what we're putting into our bodies, our minds, our environment, our children. And so it's just about being conscious of what you're doing. With the example of the eggs, I buy my eggs, unless the chickens just are not laying, all of my eggs for the last 3 years are local. I've got a place across the street, I've got 2 friends at church, and people all over this county that have eggs. I have some styrofoam egg cartons because they recycle them. Those things have been getting used for 4 years.
You're reusing them all.
So if you've got to have them, it's about reuse, recycling, but it all boils down to thinking.
We're doing some of that recycling here in Pendleton. I see that they're picking up, have a special container for that here too.
It's only $4 if you're in the city limits and you use the trash service that's provided for an extra $4 a month. They'll bring you out one of those recycled bins, $1 a week.
It shows up, and perhaps it's not. It is impacting us somewhat now, but our children, and their children is the one one that this type of waste is going to really affect.
Absolutely. Right. Absolutely. And that, I mean, that's really, it's something that I was interested in and getting educated on before I had my child, but it's become the core of my kind of life philosophy since I had her, for exactly that reason, because I know every decision will impact.
You two started a Facebook page too, correct?
Yep.
And if I got that correct, it's www.facebook.com/2galsgreen.
Yes.
Or they can just go to Facebook and type it in up top
Two
and
Gals
look
Green,
it up.
right? And the 2 is spelled out, TWF.
Now, what kind of information you go put on Facebook?
We have so much.
Everything.
We have a big variety. I would say we have everything from food and how to purchase food that's going to be healthier for your family with less pesticides. We have cooking tips and how to. I love to put stuff up there where like it gives us a way to reuse the things that we cook. Like for instance, whenever I'm cutting vegetables in the kitchen, I save all my vegetable scraps, put them in a freezer bag, and I make my own stock. And I don't have to buy that processed, disgusting, sodium-filled stuff at the grocery store.
And have a package to throw away.
Right, and have a package to throw away. It's all, so it all gets reused. That's wonderful. And the soup I make with it is outstanding. And not that I'm a good cook, I struggle, but it's good stuff. So a lot of cooking, a lot of food. We do a lot of what's in our body products because we're women. It's close to our heart. We want to look good. We want to smell good. Well, what can we put on our bodies? That stuff absorbs into our skin.
That's actually one of my biggest areas of interest because with any product that you're putting on your body, your organ for one, your skin is your biggest organ in the body, and everything you put absorbs directly into your body. It doesn't go through the filtration systems that your body has, like the things you eat. It doesn't go through your kidneys and your liver and your stomach. So you don't have any of those natural processes that at least pull out some of the toxins. If it's in there, it's in you. And there's some nasty stuff in a lot of our skincare products.
Now, is this going to be a Facebook presence only, or are you going to have also a website sometime, or perhaps a Twitter account?
We do have a Twitter account.
Oh, you do have a Twitter account.
Michelle primarily tweets for us.
Now, what's it going by?
It's 2 Gals Green.
2 Gals Green.
It's 2 Gals Green on Twitter also.
Yep. And we also have a Pinterest page.
Yep.
That's good. It's mostly just, again, the images, and we share a lot of that. You'll see a lot of the same images shared because it's kind of where we're involved. Like I will say very clearly on our Facebook page, we don't pretend to be experts at any of this stuff. We mine for the information, things that are close to our hearts, and try to push that out. I think we've had a lot of positive response lately when we post things about health and medicine and some natural cures, like mixing honey and cinnamon for a sore throat. Just those little simple things that you can do. How often to drink water. Just those things that, instead of drinking a soda, drink some more water.
And the impact of that, because something simple, I mean, there's an example of one of those decisions. If you think about it, if you have a glass of water instead of a soda, how many different ways you're positively impacting things. There's not a can or a bottle or something else that you're throwing away involved. You're not putting high fructose corn syrup and sugar and other sugars and food colorings and preservatives. None of that's going into your body. And all of those have links out to a variety of different diseases. And you're hydrating your body, and staying hydrated is one of the keys to not getting sick. So it's any little thing you can do. People think if I can only do these little tiny things, it doesn't matter. Everything has the huge impact down the road. It just all snowballs. And so making those better decisions every day, something like health, instead of going into a hospital emergency, waiting until you get sick, going to a hospital emergency room, sitting there, exposing the rest of your family, all of the stuff that goes along with that. If you just start out from the basic premise of eating healthier, cleaner food and staying hydrated to begin with, and it's at the very first sign of something not quite right, there are a plethora of natural remedies out there. I mean, if you go look at our page, you'll see my big posting activity for the last 2 months has been lots of stuff involving honey, cinnamon, cayenne pepper, lemons, water, lots and lots of water, ginger, and there are all sorts of recipes for combining those to make natural flu prevention and natural flu remedies.
Now, you two are taking also information from people that follow you on your Facebook page, or suggestions or questions, perhaps?
Absolutely. We do get questions in our inbox every once in a while, and then we'll reach out and answer those questions. And we do invite people to give us feedback if they have certain topics that they want us to find information out for. We are so happy to do that.
We're both researchers by nature. That's kind of where this whole thing started.
Well, what I'll do, I'll put, if it's okay, I'll put the Facebook and the Twitter link down below so folks can start following you. And
That would be great.
if you one big question, just right now, people ask, what might it be about trying to green up a little bit?
What's the biggest question they ask?
Or the most often asked, perhaps.
It's about organic food. It's probably what I get asked more than anything. Like, how is it really better? I read a report the other day that it's not any more nutritious. Well, it's really not about the nutrition. An apple is an apple. But do you want an apple coated in pesticides, or do you want an apple that you're not afraid to have your child pick up and lick when they're 1 year old? And that's what it comes down for us. It's not really. Yeah, the nutrition's important, and we need to eat more whole, fresh, healthy food. But when we can make some of those choices when we're at the grocery store to go ahead and spend the extra dollar, get the organic, we know that we're giving.
Yeah, and that's the other side. That's the other side of that is you have the whole health impact of buying healthier, cleaner food. But there are a lot of cases where I'm going to buy a local product, even if it's not certified organic, because that is a huge process to go through. And especially in our communities where you just don't have a lot of farmers who are going to pay to go through that process. But if you get to know the people, or if you grew up around them, you know the people, you know they're not putting the nasty chemicals and all the fertilizers and everything. They're growing organically, even if it can't be stamped organic. So if you buy local, not only is it healthier food, it is going to be more nutritious, because food, as soon as you pick it off the vine, it starts losing nutritional value. So the faster you can eat it, the better. So you do get more nutritional value. You're supporting your local economy, and you're reducing the transportation cost on your food. So huge benefits, and that's probably absolutely where we get most of the questions is around food preparation, quality of food, and how to improve that.
And I get quite a few questions around home fragrance as well. Like, how can I fragrance my home without using chemicals and that type of thing? Because that is really my oldest son had asthma. And when I removed all of the chemical cleaning products and all the chemical home fragrance products from my house, I have no problem with him anymore. He breathes better, he sleeps better, he doesn't hardly ever cough. It's like a miracle. We now fragrance our home with pure essential oils. We don't use any type of artificial candles or plugins or anything like that. Got rid of every kind of cleaning agent that involved any kind of dangerous chemical that I would have to call poison control.
That's another one that's huge, is the cleaning products.
If I have to call poison control because my child drinks it, I'm not going to bring it into my house, is basically my rule on that. So I use products like monofoil, like Basic H, from Shackley.
I use vinegar.
And I make my own. Yeah, I make my own. I use vinegar and essential oils and baking soda. Washing soda is great for toilets.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, when I want to clean, it's very hard to find natural products to clean a toilet to my standards.
Right.
I'm a little bit more of a clean freak than a lot of people, unfortunately. It makes my life more difficult, but I like I have boys, I have a house full of them, and gosh darn it, I need my bathrooms clean. And
it's great because she tests all this stuff out, and then she's going to go post what works the best.
Yeah, I've tried everything you can imagine.
Okay.
It's fun stuff.
I hope we can do this again.
Oh, you bet. We'd love to.
If you got anything you'd like to share, send my way, that information I can help you share.
Okay.
I really appreciate it.
I don't want to miss that.
Thank you, George.
Yes.
I appreciate it. This is wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Happy to do it again.